Ascent Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents The 15-Minute City, a solution to saving our time and our planet, by Carlos Moreno. Foreword by Jan Gale. Afterword by Martha Thorne. Narrated by Andrew Joseph Perez. Publisher's note: this audiobook has bonus material. Please contact whomever you purchased this audiobook from to request the material. All figures referenced in this audiobook can be found in the bonus material. The point of cities is multiplicity of choice. When distance and convenience sets in, the small, the various, and the personal wither away. Jane Jacobs, The Death and Life of Great American Cities, 1961. Foreword. The good old days ended abruptly in 1933. More specifically, the 1933 Athens Charter of City Planning was the true end of the urban good old days. Modernists defined the modern city as a machine for living. For this efficient machine to be fully operational, it was essential to separate the city's functions into different districts. You work here, you live there, you play there, and transportation corridors connect the monofunctional areas. Different functions and different people should not only be in different areas, but also be in different buildings. Until this time, cities had always been made up of spaces for life and people. In his famous map of Rome in 1748, Noli defined the city by its spaces. But from 1933 onward, the focus shifted from the cities of spaces to the cities of objects. The result was a farewell to public spaces and public life, as well as a farewell to a regard for pedestrianism that had been built into all the older cities. The older cities had been built for people first. From 1933 on, faster modes of mobility were needed to link the widespread districts. Then came the automobile, or rather the automobile invasion. Before World War II, the industry was new and limited, but from the 60s onward, the car invasion became a tsunami. Traffic and parked cars filled every space in the old cities and began demanding endless amounts of infrastructure to serve the widespread monofunctional city districts. The cities exploded. People were spread in all directions, and for some 60 years, mobility has been the key word to all city planning. All over the globe, everything was made to make the cars happy, in most places, quite successfully. In short, modernist city planning and the car invasion complemented each other perfectly. The slow city of the past became a fast city. Forgotten were concerns for public life, inviting city spaces and friendly neighborhoods, and, of course, there was no concern for walking and bicycling. Bicycling began to be considered a friendly cousin to walking, a sort of fast walking. In the background of these dramatic changes to cities and quality of life, which was applied to cities across the world, counter-movements started to take form. These counter-movements have been around for some 60 years and have grown stronger and stronger. Our 15-minute cities can be seen in this context as one of the strongest contemporary anti-modernist movements. Among the first was the strong voice of Jane Jacobs from Greenwich Village in New York, whose message was that if the modernists and the motorists are to plan the future cities, they will be dead cities, not great cities. Another voice, expressed through different media but no less powerful, was Jacques Tati, who commented on the modern city as opposed to the 15-minute humane city in his thought-provoking movie Mon Oncle. Christopher Alexander and other distinguished academics from the University of California in Berkeley have taken up the challenge of addressing the shortcomings of modernist city planning. William H. White in New York and the place-making teams have also addressed these issues. Extensive studies of public life undertaken in Copenhagen have had a profound influence on Copenhagen's level of excellence, and these studies have in turn influenced quite a few other cities. Copenhagen became the first city to announce in 2009 the official city policy of "We will be the best city for people in the world." In fact, Copenhagen is repeatedly named the most livable city in the world in various magazines that publish this type of listing. To top it all off, the European city planners found it necessary to meet up again in Athens in 1998 to sign the second Athens Charter of City Planning, stating firmly that the people and functions of the city should no longer be separated. It was a firm goodbye to modernism after 65 years. Unfortunately, there are still many regions and many professionals who have not yet gotten this message. And still more unfortunately, the modernists and the mobility lobbyists have, in the 65 years since 1933, made an endless number of city districts inhuman and unsustainable that are still stagnantly stewing in all their shortcomings. This is the context in which the fresh ideas about the 15-minute city have been developed. This is a set of ideas and tools easy to envision and simple to apply. At last, the focus has moved to the neighborhoods, the places where we live and work, as opposed to the many years where all the focus was on moving from point A to point B without much attention given to the quality of either A or B. The 15-minute city is a new yet well-tried concept. In the good old days, all the cities, big and small, were 15-minute cities. When taking a closer look, one can observe that most city centers in all parts of the world tend to be about 1 square kilometer in size, 1,000 by 1,000 meters. This is as far as the general population can walk on a daily commute, and if you look at your watch while walking this square kilometer, you will find the magic. It's doable in about 15 minutes. Enjoy your walks, your bicycle trips, and the vitality of the 15-minute city. Jan Gehl, Copenhagen, September 2023. Introduction. Writing this book has been a long process. After describing in the summer of 2020 what the proximity revolution would look like, I have seen this idea spread around the world. All over the world, I have met local governors, policymakers, and politicians who have implemented it, researchers who have explored it in greater depth, and citizens who have become involved with it. A vast movement has been created. I would like to thank all of them for encouraging me not to give up. It is to them that I owe my thanks for bringing this idea to life, embodying it, making it a reality, and also for defending it when there have been dishonest attacks. It's to them that I say thank you in so many different languages, because the 15-minute city is now universal. So, here I describe how it emerged, its roots, my sources of inspiration, its journey, and then how on every continent, in every context, it became a reality. In the post-war 1950s, expressways took over cities, cutting through them like long wounds, and the car became the center of our masculine desires and the very essence of urban life. The goal was to go further and faster. As a result, the streets have become dangerous for pedestrians, the car has become king, gas and oil are primordial and all-powerful ingredients, and our lives have been turned upside down. New centaurs have populated our cities, half human, half car. Freeways are disfiguring our cities, fast lanes are everywhere, and we are traveling full speed ahead. Farewell to proximity, the local market, shopping on foot, strolling, and a sense of well-being in the shade of a tree. This book invites you on a different journey, for which I'll be your guide, to the kind of city that no longer wants long distances with an inhuman transportation system that refuses to damage its health by the pollution that is becoming almost permanent, that wants to rediscover its humanity. It's a journey to places where it's good to take one's time, and where, like in Europe, Asia, Latin America, North America, or Africa, people want to live differently, closing the chapter on 2-hour commutes. We'll visit pedestrianized streets, schools with playgrounds instead of busy roads, and spaces that are now used for a wide range of activities when they used to have a single purpose. Under different skies, we'll see how we can change the here and now for a better quality of life. Let there be no fatality and no street that is eternally just a place through which vehicles pass, robbing it of its soul. Navigating the intricate tapestry of urbanism, this book starts with a deep dive into the foundational tenets that shape modern cities. The first 7 chapters elucidate the historic evolution of urban
Sample complete. Ready to continue?